depending on whatever time you are joining us. Welcome to KNA Political Table with me, Tamara Patience, and I am joined by Emmanuel Bosire, who will help us digest 1 to 3 things or analyze 1 to 3 things that are happening in our nation. Now, of course, when you talk about politics, when you talk about governance, we never fail to ask the question, who did what, where, when, why, how. Na kama kawaida, how much money is used, how much money will be used, how much more or less is the taxpayer going to incur. Karibu sana to the KNA Political Table. Now, starting us off is something really interesting. Now, we know for the longest time in the fight against corruption, in the fight against embezzlement of funds, in the fight against cartels in Kenya, the president used the phrase signaling what he's actually going to be using, or the means that is going to be using to get rid of corruption, to get rid of cartels. That is the mambo ni matatu. Of course, alisema mambo ni matatu. Either Emmanuel, if you can remind me, ya kwanza ilikuwa either ufanye nini, uende jela. Ya pili,
no, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to participate in that signature talk.
Anyway, before najua labda ogo ameanza kuingia. Anyway, so now you might face time, or you might be charged for using this phrase recklessly, because according to the president's lawyer, you can no longer use the phrase mambo ni matatu together with the 3-finger hand signal for commercial use, that is without consent from Ruto himself. Yeye ndio ametrademark. Everybody they get further. Najua Emmanuel unaogopa kutumia the phrase, but right now you're not using it for commercial use together with the 3-hand signs. Hakuna mtu anafanya 3-hand signs.
Don't entice me.
Squingizi box.
Now, for sure, the 3 words had a insecurity feature.
No.
And they've been used irrelevantly as to what the president meant. So when he's saying that we need to, that's one way the government has been advised about the speeches that you make. And now that we live in Kenya, where anything can happen out of your speech, say that it was my fault, the president's fault. The president cannot do that. But instead, he can do that indirectly. And to do that indirectly is by bringing up a fine and other commercial things. So first, we know that the 3 words have been used irrelevantly by the president himself. When he spoke the words,
No.
I remember it was on Western when they had their meetings there.
No.
So maybe it was a tongue slide. Maybe he never anticipated what would come out.
No.
Now that there's a human rights have come up, the criticism which is negative to him. So to clean up that mess, you've come with another way. So when you're telling us the president's lawyer, so they must have told him the dangers of continuing using the 3 words. So that's why you've seen it being brought up. And to you, our followers, don't use them.
Don't misuse.
Don't use them
For commercial use.
Don't that term there is only for, but the meaning is they should not be used actually.
But when you umesema people misconstrued the term, because I'm like, immediately the phrase came out, we saw supermarkets, we saw brands, we saw any big companies use the phrase to promote their product. So now you have to pay to actually use the word.
Those are current trends. And for sure, if we speak now, the mambo matatu, even it's almost fading away.
No.
People are coming up with something different. So for business entities, they are always very creative. They move with what's happening in the air at the moment as we speak. So when they've been speaking and the government has just come to realize that the words are even marketing more other things. Now when they want to bring the monetary value to the 3 words, they will even kill it. You will not hear it. So first, people will not be using it in their video clips all over without fear that maybe the DCI and others will be. So a few will be cautioned, they'll be taken to court and maybe fined to act as an example to many. Something that someone caused. So it's the president, the one who started it.
No.
So that's why we say that the presidency, if you understand the presidency first, you will be a good president. But if you don't understand the presidency, you'll find difficulties in your first term as a president. That's why you are a figure of national unity. So the three words, they seem to be a threat to the three national to the Kenyan national unity.
Yeah.
So you should not. Okay, I'm answered.
Misawa, you are about to complicate matters. Anyway, moving on. So obviously, once again, you have been cautioned against misusing or using the three words phrase by the president, that is William Ruto, without consent. That is if you're using it for commercial use alongside or together with three-hand signal, or three-hand human signal. Now, just 1 week after the president's cabinet reshuffle, we have seen Moses Kuria, who is the former trade CS, hand over office, that is the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Industry, to the current docket holder, that is the CS Rebecca Miano. And while doing this, Kuriam expressed his confidence in Rebecca actually handling this particular docket. Na hapo katikati pia akajipongeza kwa sababu ya the kind of work or the work that he has done as the trade CS for the past 11 months in office. Of course, on the other side, we've also seen that is Alfred Mutua officially receive the tourism and wildlife office docket handed to him. And of course, we are seeing progress. And the president, that is, while he was doing the cabinet reshuffle, clearly stated that this was all in a bid or aimed at ensuring that service delivery is actually accurate, as well as get to the common mwananchi or Kenya as a whole as one. Now, unajua, it's not every day that you see someone getting office or being removed from his office and actually expressing 100% confidence in someone who is taking over from office. Now, okay, of course, we'd say that is bold of Moses Kuria. Na pia tumesikia remarks zake huku nje from time to time since the announcement ya him being removed from not being removed, but him being withdrawn from the trade and investment docket. Now, does his statements actually seem genuine? And do you think that, first of all, if you can go back to it, is Miano going to deliver as much as Moses Kuria has done in the past 11 months?
She must deliver. I'm saying this because who delivers is the government. And the government is headed by William Ruto at the moment.
No.
So in as much Ruto is doing two things, politicking, that's delivering the state, and even governance. So is the head of the whole executive. So they must always be telling him what should be happening. And they will always be working together. So now that she's new to the cabinet secretary seat of trade, investment and business, does not mean that she will not be able to deliver. Because the main people actually who are delivering, it is not the cabinet secretary.
Yeah, definitely.
There are other people who are working under you. Now this is the CIS, where they come in, they were the experts in the industry. So you is only to be, let me say, just a leader. You're just there to maybe give directions. But you are giving direction depending on the report you're getting from different experts in the field.
No.
So that's why you see them being reshuffled. And that's why you see them others being removed and being replaced by others. So it's not, the problem is, if you find the career and profession of let's say Moses Kuria, had a profession in business. Now he has been moved to public delivery and management. So when you being exchanged to the other side, does not mean that you have a you are not able to deliver. And that's why we thought actually the current 2010 constitution regarding the qualifications for one to become a cabinet minister secretary, one should be working, have that career or profession in that profession
field, yeah.
Something that you've not found it easy. Because now in politics actually it's not even a profession. So no one lied to you that politics is a profession. Politics is not a profession.
No.
So that's why you find a teacher resigning from becoming a teacher, goes to become a politician, a lawyer, engineer. So here, when you meet, you are able to deliver. That's why I'm much confident to say that anyone can deliver. Depending with the positivity you have and the relationship between you and the president. Because the moment you fail to deliver, the government has not delivered to the people.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And we are seeing when it comes to matters international relations, of course, we've seen the president visit different states from time to time. We have also seen the new minister or CS of foreign affairs also make a couple of visits outside the country. And we have also hosted many dignitaries from all over the world, all in aim or all in the move to build international relations. Now, from the 31st of October 2023 to the 3rd of November this year, we are going to see the royal family comprising of King Charles III and his wife, Queen Camilla, who will be making a 4-day state visit to Kenya. That is from the 31st of October. And of course, the itinerary is long and wide. Wanasema the president made a request for them to come, and they've adhered to the request, and now they are coming to Kenya, of course. And as Kenya mark the 60th year after independence, or after freedom, of course, from our colonizers, who are the British. Now, of course, we know Britain benefits a lot, as well as Kenya benefits a lot from Britain. And we know for King Charles, for example, this is not his first time visiting Kenya, and Kenya is not new to the royal family per se, because they've made a couple of state visits here, including the Queen knowing her fate, or knowing the announcement happening when she was in Kenya. And anytime we see such a big sport or a big person coming to Kenya, we know there's change, or we are looking forward to change. We saw the same with Joe Biden. Are there some things that you think we might see different, probably in the agricultural sector, probably in the investment sector, probably when it comes to finances, when the state visit happens, that is from the British royal family?
Waswahili wasema kwamba mgeni njoo mwenyeji apone.
Naam.
And it's a very good privilege to us as a country to host the two. Not only the two, but it's one way to expound and expand our relationship in international leadership. Now, our relationship with that country has been good, and now it's going to be even more better. This is what Paul Kagame is doing in Rwanda.
No.
He has just taken the football teams, especially I think Arsenal and others, and they have collaborated, and they have written and printed Visit Rwanda. So it's one way to attract their business men and investors to come into our country. It's another way to attract good leadership and governance. It's a good way to bring, positivity attracts positivity.
Facts.
Now, when you find that a country like Kenya, we are more even moving close and close past the third world line. We are regarded as the third developing country.
No.
And now we are having a good relationship with the first developed country.
No.
So these are things that are improving our relationship with the Britain, with the white people. with the Americans. So I can say when Joe Biden came, we saw the benefits. We saw the time Barack Obama came bringing a visit to Kenya. So these are things that come with benefits. They're coming with goodies. When you're a good visitor, you don't visit a friend with an empty hand. You will not be invited again. But you must come with something. It's not a must, but it's good for you to appreciate your visit. And then they will appreciate you going back. So I think as a country, I know we are ready to receive them. First, we don't have demonstrations at the moment. We are having a good, peaceful political stability at the moment. We don't have a threat, except the few bandits in Sound and wherever. Something can be sorted with in a minute. And maybe the Haiti, but I'm happy the lawyers came in and warned the government on sending the police to Haiti. So in brief, I can say it's a good visit. A good home is always expecting visitors. And when you find that we are having visitors, we're having presidents all over the country coming to Kenya. We recently had a function in KICC about Africans. We are having another one. The king is coming and the queen. So we even feeling better. And even the president is finding easy time to administer his governance to Kenyans.
And most definitely we're looking forward to what is going to come out of this state visit, because as we know, Britain is one of Kenya's leading or biggest trading partners. So probably we might see something different in terms of our economy, or jinsi Emmanuel anasema mgeni haizi kuja akiwa mkono mtupu, kwa sababu kuja mkono mtupu next time they won't be invited. But I think there'll never be a point when we stop inviting big people, big investors into our country, because we're looking forward towards growth. Now, speaking of investment, speaking of growth, speaking of building the nation, we had the deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua, in Narok earlier on. And of course, aside from the funding that was issued there, you know, anywhere we go, politics has to be spoken, of course. Now, Rigathi Gachagua, while there, talked about the importance of uniting as UDA members, or as UDA members, in order to push the agenda of the party as well as the coalition towards building a greater Kenya. And of course, we know wanasema wakati wa siasa ulisha, and even the deputy president mwenyewe alisema the same thing, wakati wa siasa ulisha. But this was followed by him again stating that he is very devoted towards garnering as well as gathering votes for William Ruto come 2027, of course, from the stronghold. Now, of course, in his statement, Pia, there is a way he phrases it, but he talks about trying to, or those who are in government as well, benefiting first, or lazima watangalia mahitaji au matakwa ya wale wako kwa serikali kwanza before they go to those who are outside. Now, I want us to listen to Rigathi Gachagua, his speech, and then we'll be right back as we also discuss, or as we take a look at the possible handshake between Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president of Kenya.
Wa hapa Gabriel Tongoyo, ambaye ndio chairman wetu wa kamati ya usalama na utawala, waheshimiwa wabunge, maofisa wa vitengo mbalimbali katika serikali yetu tukufu, walimu, wanafunzi, watu wa hapa Kishamaruk, endaso wabogi, Messi Yesu, asanteni sana. Mimi nimeshukuru sana kufika hapa katika hii hafla ya maana sana hapa Masaini. Mambo ya masomo ni ya maana sana katika jamii ya Maa, kwa sababu hapo mbeleni tumewachwa nyuma. Tumekuwa na zile utamaduni zetu ambaye zimeumiza sisi kiasi, hasa mtoto wa kike, the girl child. Na mimi nimefurahi sana kufika hapa kwa mwaliko wa rafiki yangu na ndugu wangu mdogo Gabriel Otongo, ambaye rais na mimi tunafanya na yeye kazi kwa karibu sana, akiwa chairman wetu wa kamati ya usalama na utawala katika serikali yetu tukufu. Na aliponiambia nifike hapa akanieleza, nikatamani sana kufika hapa. Mheshimiwa Tongoyo, nataka nikuambie pongezi ndugu yangu. Congratulations. Umeipata sawa sawa. Wewe umekanyanga laini pahali natakikana. Hii mpango wa masomo wa hii shule ya upili na hii ya primary school umeweka zaidi ya milioni 30 hapa. Ni kazi ambayo inaonekana, ambaye tumefungua. Tunakuambia asante. Sana sana hii program umeleta ya SEP ya mobile laboratory, 38 of them, ni jambo la kufurahisha sana, kwa sababu bei gharama ya kujenga laboratory iko juu sana, na kwa hivyo inaweza chukua muda mrefu ndio kila shule ipate laboratory. Lakini wewe kwa ujasiri wako na uongozi bora umefanya mpangilio wa maana. Hata mimi nikiwa mbunge pale Madera sikufika hapo. Mimi mwenyewe nimevutiwa sana. Hata wale wabunge nimekuja na hao wamesoma, na wakirudi kwao wamesema wataiga hiyo mfano wako. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Tongoyo, kwa uongozi wako kwa masomo, nataka nikutolee kofia na nikupongeze, na nikuambie hao watu ya Narok West walipopigia wewe kura kwa mara ya pili hawakufanya makosa, walipiga kura pahali natakikana. Kwa hivyo hata nyinyi watu ya Narok West, kwa kumrudisha huyu ndugu yangu rafiki yangu Gabriel Tongoyo, nataka pia niseme asante, kwa sababu huyu Tongoyo mmemlete pale bunge mara ya pili. Rais wetu William Ruto na mimi tumemulika wale watu tunaweza tegemea pale katika bunge la kitaifa, na tumepiga darubini na tumeangalia, tukaona usalama wa Kenya, utawala ambaye ndio serikali kamili, yule kiongozi ambaye tunaweza muamini na kumtegemea atuongozee mambo ya usalama na utawala katika bunge la kitaifa, ni huyu Gabriel Tongoyo, mtoto wenu. Na kwa hivyo nimefika hapa kuungana na yeye na kumwambia amefanya vizuri. Na mimi ningetaka nichukue nafasi hii kuuliza viongozi wote waige huu mfano wa Gabriel Tongoyo. Tuweke rasilimali, tuweke pesa kwa mambo ya masomo. Hasa ningetaka kuomba nyinyi jamii ya Maa, hawa wasichana wetu, tafadhali tuwapatie nafasi wasome, ndio watakuja kujitegemea huko mbele. Yale utamaduni tulikuwa nayo pale mbele ya kufanya waolewe wakiwa wasichana wadogo bila kupata nafasi ya kusoma, ningeomba jamii ya Maa, hiyo utamaduni umepitwa na wakati. Tukubali zote, tujenge mashule, tusomeshe hao wasichana wakuje kujitegemea hapo mbele, wasaidie wazazi wao, wakuje kusaidia jamii ya Maa, na wakuje kusaidia taifa la Jamhuri la Kenya. Na nyinyi mko na mfano nzuri sana jamii ya Maa. Mtoto wenu msichana mdogo Soipan Tuya alisoma hapa Masaini, akasoma primary school, wazazi wake wakamsomesha, akatia bidii, akapita, akaenda secondary school, akaweka bidii, wazazi wakaweka pesa wakamsomesha, akaenda katika chuo kikuu university, akahitimu kama wakili, akakuja hapa akachaguliwa mara 2, na rais akaangalia ujasiri wake na uongozi wake, akamteua kama waziri wake wa kwanza wa kike kutoka jamii la Maa. Na huyu Soipan Tuya ni mfano mzuri kwa wasichana wetu hapa kwa Maa. Mwezi uliopita ametutia sisi heshima kama Jamhuri la Kenya. Huyu msichana wenu ambaye alisoma hapa amekuja kuwa waziri, ameandaa kongamano la Kiafrika likafana sana. Rais wetu na sisi wote tukaheshimika katika dunia nzima kwa sababu ya kazi yake. Kwa hivyo ningetaka kuuliza nyinyi muweke bidii kwa mambo ya masomo, na hasa huyu mtoto wa kike tumwangalie. Na county commissioner na machifu wako mkuwe waangalifu, muhakikishe ya kwamba wasichana wetu wote wameenda shule kusoma, na mkuwe waangalifu, kwa sababu hiyo ndio kujenga jamii na ndio kujenga taifa. Na kwa hivyo vile tumekuja sasa Tongoyo, sisi ni kuja kukusaidia kwa sababu na wewe umeweka bidii. Kwa hivyo serikali kuu, kwa sababu ya ile bidii umeweka, tutakusaidia na laboratory na shilingi milioni 10. Na kwa hivyo leo nimekuja na shilingi milioni 5, muanze kutumia, ikikaribia kuisha nilete ingine 5. Mungetaka nirudi hapa tena? Alafu hiyo tufanye. Number 2, kwa sababu ni muhimu. Hii shule yetu ya Kishemorok Boys Secondary School na hii primary, serikali yetu kwa gharama ya shilingi zaidi ya milioni 10 tutachimba borehole ya hizi shule mbili, na hiyo borehole pia itumike kupatia majirani wote maji katika sehemu hii. Kwa sababu sisi tumefika hapa, na tukifika hapa lazima tulete maendeleo. Na sisi tuko hapa katika ziara maendeleo. Siasa imekwisha, si ndio? Kwa hivyo borehole tutachimba na itakuwa namna hiyo. Mimi ningetaka pia nimpongeze huyu rafiki yangu Patrick Ole Ntutu, governor wetu, kwa sababu tangu achaguliwe, na niseme shukurani kwa watu ya Narok kutuchagulia governor kwa chama chetu cha UDA, kwa sababu yeye sasa ni wetu na anatusikiza, na hawezi bishana na mimi, hawezi bishana na rais. Na ndio vile Tongoyo ameomba hata county ichangie. Nimemwambia huyu governor Ole Ntutu na yeye aweke shilingi milioni 10 kwa hii primary school. Pigieni yeye makofi. Si governor tumekubaliana? 10 million kwa governor. Kwa sababu mkichagua governor wa chama ya serikali, anafanya kazi na serikali? Si iko sawa sawa? Sasa huyu governor na Tongoyo ni watu yangu, ni watu ya rais. Na mimi nataka wapendane, wakuwe marafiki. Si wapendane? Sasa umeona wakipendana, ile maneno imekuja hapa leo. Governor amelete 10, mimi nimelete 10, Tongoyo ameweka 30, milioni ya 50 inatembea hapa. Kwa sababu ya umoja. Sisi tunataka viongozi wote washikane, hasa wale wako katika chama chetu cha UDA. Wiki 2 iliyopita nimeanza kumsaidia rais kuunganisha zile areas zinaunga yeye mkono. Kwa sababu tunasema kabla tuungane na wengine, kwanza tuungane sisi kindani. Tumeanza kuunganisha pale Mlima Kenya, tumeanza kuunganisha pale Rift Valley, hapa Narok. Nataka governor Ole Tongoyo na wale wabunge wetu wote, na juzi hata mama MP wa Narok North amekuja, tushikanishe kwanza ndani yetu ya serikali, tuunganishe. Alafu tukimaliza ile wa Masai kidogo kidogo walikuwa wamepotea, wameenda Azimio. Jua kazi yetu sasa ni rahisi sana, kwa sababu hao wa Masai walikuwa wamendanganywa na hii watu ya ODM ya kwamba ati Rais William Ruto akichaguliwa ati tutachukua ile msitu ya Mau. Sasa hiyo uongo yote tumemalizana naye. Tumechukua mtoto wenu Soipana Letuya, tumemweka asimamie misitu. Sasa hiyo Mau ikipotea, itapotea kwa mkono ya Soipana. Sisi na rais tumenawa mkono. Sasa ile siasa walikuwa wanaleta hapa bovu ya kumchafua rais na kumwekelea uongo ati ya kwamba ataingilia Mau Forest. Hiyo siasa yote imeisha. Sasa wewe governor, na nimeshukuru sana, mimi sijasikia kelele kwa county assembly ya Narok. Nataka governor na MCA nimwambie pongezi, muweke amani. Governor na MCAs wafanye kazi pamoja, ndio Narok yetu iweze kufaidika. Again ningetaka hao wabunge wetu wote na governor na women rep mushikane. Senator akitaka kujiunga na sisi huko mbele ni sawa, kama hataki pia ni sawa, there is no problem. Tuungane, muunganishe hii Narok iongee na sauti moja. Zile kula kidogo kidogo ilikuwa imetoka nje ya rais. Rais ni mtu ya hapa. Tuunganishe Narok, tuunganishe Narok kiongee sauti moja ndio tuweze kupata maendeleo. Pia Ole Tongoyo amelia mambo ya hii walimu 5 ambaye wameumiza wazazi hapa, si ndio? Na vile nimefika hapa pia hiyo wazazi nitaondolea nyinyi hiyo mzigo. Kwa hivyo tukiendelea mbele, naye huyu chairman wetu, huyu mtu mrefu kutoka Webuye, amesema vile tumeungana, ameona vile tumeleta maendeleo hapa, na yeye kwa timu zetu 3 hapa atalete mpira 6 vijana waendelee kucheza. Kwa hivyo mimi niseme tumeshukuru sana. Na kwa hii strategic plan Ole Tongo, that is the way to go. Unajua wanazungu wanasema failing to plan is planning to fail. Wewe umepanga 5 years na umepanga mzuri. And I'm very happy kuja hapa kuzindua hiyo strategic plan. Wewe endelea na ufanye kazi vile unafanya. Na pia niambie watu ya Narok West, huyu kijana Ole Tongoyo anasaidia mimi na rais sana pale katika chairman wa kamati ya usalama na utawala, na tunashukuru. Kwa hivyo ningetaka pia saigide nimuombee ruhusa. Msipomuona mimi na rais tumemtuma ngambo, tumemtuma Mombasa, tumemtuma huko pahali watu wanapigana, huko West Pokot, huko pande ya Tiati, aende angalie, atusaidie. Kwa hivyo ningetaka saa nyingine ukiona rais na mimi tumempea kazi mingi, msukume sana, msisukume sana. Lakini pia Ole Tongo, ukimaliza kazi yetu na rais, unarudi hapa nyumbani kufanya kazi. Si iko namna hiyo? Si hata Yesu alianza kwa Jerusalem? Na pia Bishop, ningetaka kuomba msamaha, kulitokea shida, ungekuwa pale utuombee tufungue hili jengo. Naomba msamaha, watu wetu ya protocol walituangusha kidogo, tutarekebisha, utusamehe. Kanisa ni ya maana sana. Kanisa ni ya maana sana. Na mimi kwa hivyo hii Narok nitatembea. Hii Narok nitakuwa hapa. Lazima nisaidie rais kuunganisha hii Narok. Si ndio? Nataka ile azimio ilikuwa hapa yote kidogo yote tusukume. Ikifika 2027 wakuu hakuna pahali, hawana nafasi. Na ndio mimi nataka Ole Ntutu, Ole Tongoyo, Tonkei, wajumbe wetu, MCAs, wote wafanye kazi pamoja. And governor, I want to encourage you. Hiyo pesa umepatia MCAs 100 million per ward. That is the way to go. Ndio hii Narok yetu ipate maendeleo. Kwa hivyo mimi nimeshukuru. Kwa hivyo siku ya Jumapili nitarudi hapa Narok. Nitakuwa pande ile ya Kilgoris, tuko na makanisa 21, tutakuja kuchanga. Kwa hivyo katika ile area mimi nasaidia rais kuunganisha. Nimechukua hii Narok. Mnataka niichukue? Nikuwe nikija hapa? Sasa tangu tuchaguliwe nimefika hapa mara 7. Na bado nitakuja hapa. Kwanza kama mmetengenezea nyama ile mnatengenezaga, sitachelewa. Nitakuwa nikifika hapa. Na hii Narok tutaiunda vizuri na hao viongozi. Na mimi nataka viongozi wetu wote wakiongozwa na governor, MPs washikane, tuongee lugha moja. Lakini wewe sasa Ole Sankoka, tangu tukutume Arusha naona umeharibika kidogo. Sasa wewe uko ndani ya serikali, unasema utaongoza maandamano. Sasa maandamano dhidi ya nani na wewe iko ndani ya serikali? Si huyu Ole Sankoka ni serikali. Sasa anasema hata yeye anaweza ongoza maandamano. Sasa ataongoza maandamano dhidi ya nani? Kama iko maneno Ole Sankoka, kuja tuongee kinyumbani. Hiyo ni maneno ya nyumbani. Hatuwezi hada hiyo barabara. Wewe ni part and parcel of government. So tutaendelea hii maneno yote kuangalia pole. Huyu Sankoka tulimtuma yeye Arusha. Akae huko miaka 5. Lakini usikae huko sana Ole Sankoka. Ukikaa miaka 5 ukuje ujipanga na hii watu ya Narok. Si mungetaka pia arudi? Lakini uangalie ile Wamasai wako huko Tanzania. Utuchungie hawa, uongee na hao, ukae na hawa, utafute uhusiano mzuri. Kwa hivyo sisi tumeshukuru sana, na mimi nimefurahia, na nitarudi siku ya Jumapili tukuje tuchangie kanisa. Mimi nasema pongezi kwa mjumbe, nasema pongezi kwa walimu, nasema pongezi kwa kila mtu. Wale vijana walicheza hapa wa boys wametuumiza sana hapa kwa nyimbo hapa, wameturukisha hapa na gavana. Lakini sasa hao vijana vile nimekuja, nitaangalia kwa hii vijana hii shule, nitawasha 1200 mtafutiwe mkate na soda na nini kwa sababu ni muhimu. Na wale pia ya primary school, na hiyo primary nimefurahi sana, nimepata habari kutoka mkuu wa elimu, ndio ina perform vizuri sana katika kaunti hii na ni shule kubwa. Kwa hivyo pia hiyo shule ya primary nitawacha shilingi 1300 ya kuangalia mambo ya hiyo watoto wetu, ndio waweze kukaa na ile njia ambaye inatakikana. Kwa hivyo mimi nimefurahia sana. Mumepokea salamu ya rais wetu William Ruto? Nimusalimie. Mimi amenituma na salamu, ameniambia hapa ni nyumbani. Yeye ako pande ya Nakuru, kesho ataenda pande ya Turkana katika harakati za kuunganisha Kenya na kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumepata maendeleo katika pembe zote za Jamhuri ya Kenya. Haya sasa, hii governor na Tongo sasa wameanza kufanya kazi pamoja. Ananiambia governor, kwa hiyo nimetoa, ataongeza 1100 na Tongo ataongeza 1100. Sasa unaona viongozi wakikaa pamoja matunda inazaa. Ile siku nyingine tulikuja pale kwa Saipon, watu walikuwa nakula mori. Na vijana kuinua miti juu, namna hii. Kwa hivyo sisi tunataka uhusiano ya viongozi. Tunataka kuunganisha hasa zile sehemu zinaunga rais wetu mkono. Tuongee lugha moja, ndio alafu tuungane na Wakenya wengine wote tuweze kusonga safari moja. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much. Asanteni.
That was the Deputy President, that is Rigathi Gachagua speaking while at Narok County. Now, you know, for the longest time tumekuwa na hii conversation ya representation of Kenyans, you know, and we had the shareholder issue also come up from Rigathi's mouth. Now, with his statements that he has made at Narok, do you feel like they're an indirect statement of still his emphasis on he who works for the government and with the government will reap more, or is going to reap faster than he who does not work against the government?
Yeah, the 2010 constitution, I cannot give you that. Okay, it was on a light note. Basically, when you work with the government, there are added advantages.
No.
But the truth be told, the development is in the assembly, National Assembly.
No.
The president does not have development. The president has other roles.
No.
Maybe power of mercy, kufungulia wafungwa. Hiyo ataweza sema leo enda nyumbani nimekusamea. But development basically haiko kwa government.
No.
Kwa the president.
No.
But when you're working with the government now through the National Assembly in implementing and taking part actively in formulating the policies to better the lives of the residents. If you are a senator, maybe doing oversight, the MP doing all that is required, and that now will help the government to deliver majority of its promises to all Kenyans, and at the end leave a good legacy to Kenyans. But when you are in opposition, in most cases you might not find the more advantages compared to being government. Yeah, but again, it depends who are you. The politicians who are in opposition, but who benefit more. So as a way, the government maybe to police them and bring them to government, they'll be doing more development to them. Just as what you've been seeing in Luo Nyanza. Luo Nyanza has always been in opposition since independence.
No.
But there's a lot of development in Luo Nyanza. Compared to other regions which have been in government all the times. So it's good again to me, I think it's better to be in opposition rather than to be in government.
Maoni yako Emmanuel.
No, you know,
because there's some also benefiting, as you said.
No, what you'll be benefiting is personal development. Personal.
No.
personal, you'll be able to change from Buruburu and go to Karen. Those are personal development. But the ground development, so meaning you must compromise your seat. Maybe you are an MP. You must compromise some formulation policies. Like just we saw the tax case issue in parliament. So some decided to vote no, whereas others voted yes. Now what the government wants, it does not want everyone. The government wants majority. So that whatever the government want to do, it's able to do now that are the majority. But the ones who remain in opposition, they'll always have a good political future compared to the ones in government. Because at the end of the day, if the government fails to deliver, you'll be knocked out. You've had our analyst trying to say that come 2027, and you find that all close politicians to William Ruto have been knocked out. And President Ruto is the president. Hiyo too evident kwamba zimeibwa. Because people will be voting you. How have you been? Have you been government side or opposition side? You've been in government. What have you delivered? You've not helped us. Our schools lack buses. Our roads are impassable. Policies you don't formulate. Some politicians don't even speak in parliament. You saw the other day. You are voted in. Those who voted expect you to be in parliament to
represent them
and represent them. And you are dumb. You don't know to speak. So those are some of the things we should be checked.
Threshold inawekwa huku nje. Now, also, while in Narok, the deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua, was once again very clear about his work or his mission to garner votes come 2027 for His Excellency William Ruto. Now, tomorrow for the longest time, since, let's say, since the current government actually got into office, we have just been seeing them sort of like continue campaigning for the next office. Na tukiangalia pia the first term, they've not even completed the first term. They're not even halfway into the first term. We are wait to see the deliverables, what they have to offer. Apart from the promises in tumesikia every single time during political rallies, as well as during the visits to different regions. Now, of course, we know there are strongholds, and one of them, or one of the majority voting blocks in Kenya, lies in the Mount Kenya region, of which, as we have said over and over for the past few sessions that we have had, that we're looking at Rigathi Gachagua as the kingpin of that particular region or of that particular area. Now, tunajua kuna shauku na kuna tashwishi kidogo when it comes to the Mount Kenya region. And number two, we saw Rigathi Gachagua clearly said that he's sending an invite, or he's going to look for Uhuru Kenyatta so that they can sit down and talk, or probably see the way forward for the Mount Kenya region. Number two, we saw the former Mungiki leader, that is Maina Jenga, also speak on the issue, or touch on the issue of Rigathi Gachagua kukuja pamoja na Uhuru Kenyatta kuzungumza, so that they can come like to an amicable agreement of how to ensure that Mount Kenya region is back to one as a voting bloc. And still in the same thing, we're also having the conversation of Rigathi Gachagua being sidelined. Of course, you've seen the bombastic side eye, so that you and Muna Shwai talked about it earlier on today on the breakfast show. So the major thing that we are probably looking at here is, are we seeing Uhuru probably being flexible enough, or being open enough kukaribisha, that is the current government? Of course, we know what has happened between them. What has happened, of course, between Mheshimiwa Ruto and Uhuru. Na tunajua kama kuna handshake between Ruto and Uhuru and Rigathi, it means that there is a handshake between Uhuru, or there is reconciliation between Uhuru and Ruto. So are we possibly seeing Uhuru joining hand and supporting Ruto as well as Rigathi Gachagua come to 2027? And what are the possible profitable ways or things that Uhuru is actually looking at if he decides to fold or if he decides to work together na the current government?
Yeah, it's very possible because first, when were they enemies? And according to the laws, 14th laws of power, in leadership, there's no permanent friendship and there's no permanent enmity. Now, when you find that the interest that you have and the interest that I have, they're merging and finding the same place. So that one becomes very easy. So when your interest and my interests are the same, we will be friends. When your interest and my interest as a politicians differ, and then we'll now be enemies. But we need to have an understanding that to politicians, they're not enemies, neither friends. They are always there. My business deal, my friendship. They are of the same class. William Ruto, Kalonzo, name them. Kimani Ichung'wah, all politicians, they are of the same class. They are all dynasties. They want to control the multitude. And now, when you control the multitude, that's Kenyans. Who is leading Kenyans will be getting more advantages. Who is not in government will be getting less privileges. Because there are deals that you cannot be able to execute if you are not in government. But when you are in government, you'll be able to know the shortcuts. The system is simplified for you. So I'm saying that there's a great, nothing is impossible in politics. Politicians are like the devil. Who say that? So from the other side, if I can be brief and remind you, Uhuru said miaka yangu ni 10, yao kijana Ruto ni 10. It's possible, we've seen it happening. It's only that hapa katikati handshake ilikuja. They come and tell us again, maybe in the future, we were fixing mzee. We know sisi si wajinga, and many would not even understand. And up to today, there are Azimio followers and supporters who really believe that Uhuru Kenyatta helped Raila Odinga. Up to today, including some analysts.
But is that wrong? He's stood up and a couple of times mentioned or showed support for Raila.
He did not support him. He killed him politically. If Uhuru Kenyatta was to be neutral from the 2022 elections, Ruto angeona vumbi. Ile kama ingekuwa ni baba peke yake, hakuna Uhuru Kenyatta, angenyorosha Raila William Ruto mapema kabisa. But when they came into the handshake, and Raila, sijui mbona the political advisors forgot to remind Raila that a sitting president cannot support someone to win. I don't know, political analysts wake walikuwa that time. They were to remind him. And perhaps maybe some told him, na after kusikia. But at the end of the day, his interests then were served. At the moment, we'll have that discussion later again. Regarding Gachagua needs Uhuru Kenyatta most. And Uhuru Kenyatta needs William Ruto most.
Why would you say that?
For political interests, for the political equation to be fixed. So this is a political equation. You have William Ruto president. How can you remove Kenyatta's family from your leadership? So this must be sorted very fast. Now that Ruto is the president, you need Uhuru Kenyatta again. And you've seen that in the next month, is going to do a Mount Kenya region campaign, a Thanksgiving rallies all over Mount Kenya. That's an indication what the guy was telling us, naenda kutafuta Uhuru Kenyatta. Mnataka nimtafute. When you hear such statements from politicians, that's something that's mipango. It's only waiting the time to act upon it. It's like, sisi tunapanga script. How do you want this to be? Plan and plan. So there's some to politics. So a handshake between Gachagua na
Uhuru.
Gachagua na Uhuru, hiyo si handshake. But a handshake between Ruto na Uhuru is a handshake.
That's a handshake. But then again, that's why I'm asking the question. What is, apart from the political equation that you're talking about, what is in for Uhuru? Because Uhuru has been humiliated. He has been talked bad about, like ill about. We have seen what is currently happening, for example, at Jubilee, with the split in Jubilee. We have seen what is happening even with his company, what is happening with his funds, his property being raided and all that. We have also seen what is happening in Brookside. It has incurred quite a number of losses. We also saw the recent raid on his family and the firearms, as well as yes, the firearms being taken away from them and all that. Now, is of course, when you look at Uhuru's side, and even like any sane person, if such things happen to you and it's on a political ground, or yeah, on a political ground, the number one, it brings a lot of humiliation to you, not only as a leader but as an individual, you know. Now, what will make Uhuru Kenyatta go past all this and decide to support the current government? Because even when all these things are happening, of course, kuna ile the blame game that all these are a cause of the current government. So how do you then guarantee, or how does Uhuru Kenyatta now benefit? Like tukisema, this is what Uhuru Kenyatta is going to get from the possible uh, umoja.
It's going to be a lion's share.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be a lion's share. Hey, my brother, you helped me defeat this giant. It's going to be a lion's share. By that I mean what you've seen Kenyatta's family benefiting since independence. Ukitembea Kenya unaambiwa shamba hii ni ya nani?
Kenyatta.
They own property as if it's more than a county. Some counties cannot even find the wealth that Kenyatta's family has.
No.
And at the moment, they want even to add it. You saw him constructing the SGR, passing through where?
His farm in, it's Naivasha, eh?
You saw him bringing the port from Mombasa too.
Ah.
So those are things that you need to open eyes. They will not come to completion, or they will not continue working if your relationship with the current president is bad. Yeah.
Most definitely. And we're looking forward to seeing what is going to come out of Rigaji's expectations, or Rigaji's invite or talk with Uhuru Kenyatta, in order to see, number one, if come 2027, the voting block that is from the Mount Kenya side, of course, is going to go from what it terms as a possible 47 to a 60% vote. And most definitely right here, we're going to analyze that and see it, as well as we are looking forward to seeing what is going to come out of the conversation or of the state visit from the British royal family to Kenya come the end of this month, as well as most definitely we are going to be keeping you updated with what is happening in the political field, in the governance field, in Kenya as a whole. Of course, watu wetu wa spoti hapa kina Emmanuel pia watatuelezea kama ni possible for Kisumu to hold the AFCON as promised by Rais. That is later on when they're doing sports. But from us at the Kenya table, we're saying thank you so much for keeping us company and also allowing us to keep you company. Most definitely, if there's anything that you want us to talk about, anything that you want us to digest, and also you want to be part of the KNA political table, then feel free to tell us on the comment section below. And most definitely, we are going to heed to your request. So from here, thank you so much, Emmanuel, for joining us. And thank you as well to our viewers for joining us. We are going to see you in the next KNA table. And as usual, we say peace, love, and unity prevail. And have a fantastic morning, afternoon, and evening. That is depending on whatever time you are joining us.